Argentina were minutes away from immortality. Lionel Messi was about to complete the greatest story football had ever seen, a World Cup final, a 2-goal lead, the trophy almost close enough to touch. For Argentina, this was not just a match. This was 36 years of waiting. This was every lost final, every broken dream, every argument about Messi, every comparison with Maradona. All of it was finally about to end. Argentina were leading France 2-0. Messi had scored. Di Maria had scored. The team looked fearless. France looked finished. And for one perfect moment, it felt like football had finally chosen Lionel Messi. Not Barcelona's Messi. Not the Messi who won everything in Europe. Not the genius who made defenders look helpless for almost 2 decades. But Argentina's Messi. The one the country had waited for. The one the country had doubted. The one the country had needed. The one who had carried the weight of a nation for most of his life. And now, he was so close. So close to peace. So close to freedom. So close to ending the one question that followed him everywhere. Can he really do it for Argentina? Then, in 97 seconds, everything changed. Kylian Mbappé scored once. Then he scored again. R. Just like that, Argentina's dream was bleeding. The stadium changed. The noise changed. The faces changed. Millions of Argentine fans around the world felt the same old fear return. Not again. Not another final. Not another heartbreak. Not after 2014. Not after 2015. Not after 2016. Not now. Because Argentina knew this feeling too well. They had been close before. Close enough to believe. Close enough to dream. Close enough to touch history. And then forced to watch it disappear. That was the real danger of this final. France were not just trying to beat Argentina. They were dragging Argentina back into every nightmare they had ever survived. Every ghost came back at once. The ghost of Maradona. The ghost of Germany in 2014. The ghost of Chile. The ghost of every missed chance. The ghost of every person who said Messi could never be complete without this trophy. And standing in the middle of it all was Messi, 35 years old. In his final World Cup. No longer the boy who could run through an entire team every few minutes. No longer the Barcelona alien who made football look too easy. This was an older Messi. A wounded Messi. A Messi who had already lost enough to understand exactly what this moment meant. If Argentina collapsed now, the story would become unbearable. The greatest player of all time. One step away from the one trophy his country demanded. And still denied. But this Argentina was different. They did not disappear. They did not panic. They did not wait for Messi to suffer alone. They fought with him. Rodrigo De Paul ran like his lungs belonged to the flag. Ángel Di María played like a man trying to rewrite every final Argentina had ever lost. Cristian Romero defended like every tackle was personal. Julian Alvarez pressed like a young man chasing destiny. And Emiliano Martínez stood in goal like chaos had chosen a side. This was no longer Messi carrying Argentina. This was Argentina protecting Messi. And that is why this story matters. Because Argentina did not win the 2022 World Cup only because they had Messi, they won because, for the first time in years, Messi had them. A team willing to suffer with him. A team willing to run for him. A team willing to fight for every inch of grass so he could have one final chance at history. That is what made Argentina dangerous. Not just talent. Not just tactics. Not just passion. But belief. The kind of belief that does not disappear when everything goes wrong. The kind of belief that survives when the final turns into chaos. The kind of belief that looks at Mbappé scoring twice in 97 seconds and says, not this time, not again. Because by 2022, Argentina were no longer just chasing a trophy. They were chasing release. Release from the pain of 2014. Release from the heartbreak of 2015 and 2016. Release from the shadow of Maradona. Release from the idea that Messi had to become someone else to be loved by his own country. That was the real prize. Not the gold. Not the celebration. Not even the third star. Peace. And for most of that final, peace looked close. Then it looked gone. Then it came back. Then it vanished again. That is what made the match feel almost impossible. Argentina had to win it more than once. They had to survive the perfect start. They had to survive the collapse. They had to survive extra time. They had to survive penalties. They had to survive their own history. And somehow, they did. But to understand why that night meant so much, you have to understand what Argentina had been carrying long before Qatar. Because this was never just about France. This was never just about Mbappé. This was never just about one final. It was about a country trapped between two number 10 slash. One who had already become a god, and one who was still trying to become accepted as himself. Before Messi could win peace for Argentina, he first had to survive the ghost of Maradona. Because in Argentina, Diego Maradona was never just a football player. He was a memory, a religion, a feeling. He was the man who made an entire country believe one player could carry a nation on his back and conquer the world. In 1986, Maradona did not just win the World Cup, he created the standard. And that standard became almost impossible for anyone after him to survive. Especially Messi. Because Messi was never loud like Maradona. He was never chaotic like Maradona. He did not play with fire on his face. He did not look like he was fighting the entire world every time he touched the ball. Messi was different. Quiet. Controlled. Almost too perfect. At Barcelona, that made him untouchable. But in Argentina, it made some people unsure. They saw the goals. They saw the trophies. They saw the genius. But they kept asking the same question. Why does he not feel like Maradona? And slowly, that question became heavier. Messi was not judged like a normal player. He was judged against a ghost. Every World Cup became a trial. Every Copa America became a test. Every missed chance became evidence. And every failure brought the same painful sentence back. Great for Barcelona, but not the same for Argentina. That sentence followed him for years. And it hurt because it was never true. Messi did care. Maybe too much. He did not scream it. He did not perform it. He did not show pain the way Maradona showed pain. But it was there. In his face after every defeat. In the way he kept coming back. In the way every lost final seemed to take something from him. And the first wound came in 2014. Brazil. World Cup final. Argentina against Germany. Messi had carried Argentina so close to immortality. Close enough to see the trophy. Close enough to change everything. Close enough to finally end the argument. But football can be cruel. Higuaín missed a huge chance. Messi had a chance of his own. The match went into extra time. Then Mario Götze scored. Germany won. Argentina lost. And Messi walked past the World Cup trophy with the face of a man staring at the life he almost had. That image became a scar. Because it was not just a defeat. It was almost a World Cup. Almost immortality. Almost peace. But almost is the cruelest word in football. And after 2014, the pain did not stop. In 2015, Argentina reached the Copa America final. Again, they had the chance. Again, they had Messi. Again, they failed. Chile won on penalties. Another final gone. Another trophy lost. Another night where Messi had to carry the silence. Then came 2016. Copa America Centenario. Argentina against Chile again. Same opponent. Same pressure. Same nightmare. The match went to penalties again. Messi stepped up. The greatest player in the world. The man who had scored goals that looked impossible. The man who made football look easy. And he missed. The ball went over the bar. Messi looked broken. Chile won again. Argentina lost again. 3 straight finals. Lansanling Isher Sis. Lansanling Isher Wu. Lansanling Isher Lo. 3 chances to end the pain. 3 chances to give Argentina what it wanted. 3 chances to escape Maradona's shadow. All gone. And that night, Messi finally broke. He said he was done with the national team. Done with the pressure. Done with the pain. Done with giving everything and still being told it was not enough. For a moment, Argentina realized the truth. They had not just lost another final. They had almost lost Messi. The country had spent years asking why he was not Maradona. But now, they were about to lose the only Messi they would ever have. And that changed everything. Because sometimes, a nation only understands what it has. When it almost disappears. Messi came back. But the old way could not continue. Argentina could not keep asking one man to carry every ghost alone. They needed something different. Not another miracle. Not another Maradona. A team. A real team. A group of players willing to fight for Messi the way he had fought for them. And slowly, that team began to appear. Not the most famous Argentina team. Not the most glamorous. Not the team with the biggest names. but the team Messi had needed for years. A team that did not look at him like a savior every time something went wrong. A team that did not ask him to solve every problem alone. A team that understood something Argentina had forgotten. Messi was not a machine. He was human. And if Argentina wanted his magic, they had to give him something back. Protection. Belief. Loyalty. That was what Lionel Scaloni built. At first, nobody expected him to become the man who would change Argentina's history. He was not treated like a genius. He was not the obvious choice. He did not arrive with the aura of a legendary coach. But sometimes, the right man is not the loudest man. Sometimes, the right man is the one who understands what the team truly needs. And Scaloni understood. Argentina did not need more pressure. They already had enough. Argentina did not need more stars. They had tried that before. Argentina needed balance. They needed hunger. They needed players who were not afraid to suffer. And most of all, they needed players who would make Messi feel less alone. That is when the new Argentina was born. Rodrigo De Paul became Messi's engine. He ran, fought, pressed, covered, tackled, and protected. He played like every meter of grass was personal. Not because he wanted attention, but because he understood his role. If Messi was the heart, De Paul would be the lungs. Ángel Di María became the memory of the old pain. He had lived through the heartbreaks. He knew what Argentina had lost. And when big moments came, he still had magic left in his left foot. Emiliano Martínez gave Argentina something they had lacked for years. A goalkeeper who did not fear chaos. A goalkeeper who seemed to grow bigger when pressure became unbearable. A goalkeeper who could turn fear into confidence. Cristian Romero brought aggression. Otamendi brought experience. Paredes brought edge. Julian Alvarez brought energy. Lautaro Martinez brought sacrifice. And suddenly, Argentina no longer looked like a team waiting for Messi to save them. They looked like a team ready to save him too. That changed everything. You could feel it in the way they celebrated with him. You could feel it in the way they protected him after fouls. You could feel it in the way they looked at him. Not like a distant genius, but like their captain, their brother, their reason. For the first time in years, Messi was not playing under Argentina's weight. He was playing inside Argentina's love. And love can change a player. Even one as great as Messi. Then came Copa America 2021. Brazil. The Maracanã. Argentina against Brazil. It could not have been written better. After years of pain, Messi had the chance to win his first major international trophy against Argentina's biggest rival, inside one of football's most legendary stadiums. And this time, Argentina did not ask him to do everything. They fought for him. They ran for him. They suffered for him. And in the final, Ángel Di María delivered the moment. One perfect run. One perfect touch. One perfect finish. Argentina led 1-0. After that, the match became survival. Brazil pushed. Argentina defended. Every clearance felt like a heartbeat. Every tackle felt like a prayer. Every minute felt heavier than the last. And when the final whistle came, Messi fell to the ground. His teammates ran to him, not away from him, not past him, to him, because they knew what it meant. They knew what he had carried. They knew how many times he had been close. They knew how many times the story had hurt him. That night, Argentina did not just win Copa America. They gave Messi his country back. For the first time, the argument changed. The country stopped asking why Messi was not Maradona. They started loving him for being Messi. And that was the real victory. Not the medal, not the trophy, not the celebration, the release. The feeling that maybe the curse was beginning to break. But the World Cup was still waiting. And Messi knew it. Argentina knew it. Copa America had healed something, but it had not completed the story. There was still one trophy left. One final mountain. One last dance. Qatar 2022. And Argentina arrived there with belief. They were unbeaten. They were confident. They were together. For the first time in a long time, the team looked ready. Messi looked ready. The country looked ready. But football does not give legends easy endings. And before Argentina could become immortal, they had to be humiliated first. Saudi Arabia. The opening match. A game Argentina were supposed to win. A game that should have been simple. A game that looked like the perfect beginning to Messi's last World Cup. And at first, it was. Messi scored. Argentina led. Everything looked normal. The dream was alive. Then, suddenly, the tournament turned against them. Saudi Arabia scored once. Then again, Argentina froze. The unbeaten run was gone. The confidence was gone. The world was laughing. And just like that, Messi's last dance looked like it might end before it even began. But this time, Argentina did not break. They changed. The defeat hurt them, but it also woke them up. From that moment on, every match became survival. Mexico was first. Argentina needed a goal. The pressure was suffocating. The game was tight. The country was nervous. And then Messi found 1 inch of space. That was all he needed. One touch. One shot. Low into the corner. Argentina breathed again. It was not just a goal. It was a message. We are still here. Then came the knockouts. Australia. A dangerous night. A match that looked under control. Until suddenly, it was not. Argentina survived. Then came the Netherlands. A fight. A war. A match full of tension, anger, tackles, words, and chaos. Argentina led. The Netherlands came back. The match went to penalties. And once again, the old fear returned. But this time, Argentina had Diego Martínez. He saved. He shouted. He turned pressure into power. Argentina survived again. Then came Croatia, the team that had destroyed them 4 years earlier. The team of Luka Modric. The team that knew how to suffer. But this time, Argentina were different. Messi was different. He did not just play. He controlled the moment. And then came the run against Gvardiol, one of the best young defenders in the world. Messi slowed down, sped up, stopped, turned, dragged him to the line, and created the goal for Julian Alvarez. It was not just an assist. It was Messi telling the world he was not done. Argentina were in the final. Back to France. Back to Mbappé. Back to the moment where this story began. Argentina led 2-0. Messi scored. Di María scored. The dream looked finished. Then Mbappé scored twice in 97 seconds. R2R. Extra time. Messi scored again. Sandauer. Argentina were close again. Then Mbappé answered again. Sandau-san. It felt cruel, as if football was testing Argentina one final time. How much pain can one team survive? How many times can one dream be taken away before it dies? Then, in the final seconds, France had the chance. Kolo Muani was through. One shot, one moment, one save away from changing history. Dibu Martínez stretched his leg and saved Argentina's soul. Without that save, there is no trophy, no immortality, no perfect ending, just another heartbreak. Then came penalties, the same place where Argentina had suffered before, the same place where Messi had broken before. But this time was different. Messi scored. Dibu saved. Argentina believed. And when the final penalty went in, the country exploded. Not like a normal celebration, like a release. 36 years of waiting, 8 years of Messi's pain. Every lost final, every cruel comparison, every doubt, every ghost. Gone. Messi fell to his knees. His teammates ran to him. Argentina had done it. But more than that, they had finally freed him. Messi did not need to become Maradona anymore. He did not need to copy a ghost. He did not need to prove he was Argentine enough. He had written his own story. Maradona gave Argentina a miracle. Messi gave Argentina peace. And maybe that is why this World Cup meant so much. Because Argentina did not just win another star. They ended a wound. They turned years of pain into something eternal. And in the end, the greatest gift Argentina gave Messi was not the trophy. It was belonging. For the first time, he was not Barcelona's Messi playing for Argentina. He was Argentina's Messi, fully loved, fully accepted, finally free.